life is an arcade. I wanna play every single game. These bright lights are making my heart race.
Yo guys, welcome back. It's been a long time, but we're starting back with season 2. Authentic Vibes Only podcast. I apologize for it being a long time, but after last season, and there's some stuff going on, obviously with Jordan and I and us splitting up, and then I was just taking some time to reevaluate, spend some time with family, travel, get some thoughts together. Also, like learning. I learned a lot from last season in the clothing and the podcast. So learning that kind of stuff, I'm kind of taking my time more this season. So we'll get a little bit more into that. We'll get into talking about where I traveled, different parts of the world, what it's like, what I learned from those like aspects, and what it's like being in like a different country, because I traveled out of the country. And then I'll get into like what's up and coming for this season, when some drops might be coming along. And then we'll talk about like I said, some business stuff I learned. And then actually I got my dad here today, and we'll be interviewing him a little bit about how he started his own business and what it's been like to come up from that, and his journey, also like things he learned, and just like how he's like started from the bottom and becomes a successful restaurant owner. So let's get into it. So first thing, we took, I don't know, about probably like 6-7 months so far since we've done an episode. So let's see, November, a little recap of what's happened since November. So November, actually went to a fashion expo. It's called Magic Fashion. They have like 3 separate like entities to it. They have like this one called sourcing, that one's for like manufacturing, and then they have the actual like one that's called Magic, and that one has like, whether that one had like everything.
Yeah,
right?
Men's, women's, everything.
Men's, women's, and then what was the last one?
I don't remember the last one.
We just went to 2. We could have gone to all 3, but we just went to the Magic and the sourcing because I was looking for some manufacturers. So that was the first one, and then we went to the Magic and just checked out like all the Magic had like. So the difference between those two actually is like Magic. Overall, it's called the Magic Project, but they have like I said, 3 things: Magic, sourcing, and then there's another one. And at sourcing, I was looking for manufacturers. At Magic, it had like retail stores, basically. So like, let's say my shop that wanted to get into like bigger stores. So like they don't have their own website, or maybe they do, but they're trying to like get into other retail stores. So like bigger sourcing and stuff. So like more companies will sell their stuff, basically. So like they didn't have Walmart and stuff, but like, let's just put it in terms like that. So say like I wanted to get into Walmart and Target and stuff like that. It was like that. So like these smaller like companies like me that are homemade brands, and they start from the bottom. They are outsourcing their already finished products to get into bigger companies and get their sales throughout more sources and stuff like that. So when you go to the Magic part of it, you get to see all the stores that already have like all their products and what they're offering for like their spring drops, and then it's combined, like men's and women's. And then the sourcing part was really cool because you got to have literally manufacturers from all over the whole world. Literally, you had United States, China, Egypt,
India,
yeah, like literally Russia. They had every country, literally like every major country, even some smaller countries. Like Egypt's obviously third world, so but they had everywhere that you could meet manufacturers from. Mostly we talked to United States ones, and then China. Those are the best ones. So I got some new contacts from that. So that was in Vegas. You guys probably know that I basically like live in Vegas, and I don't, but we go all the time. Me and my dad went together. To that, we pretty much always go together. So that was a really cool experience. I learned a lot of new things. Like I said, I got to make really cool networking like opportunities with new manufacturers. So I just met a lot of people, met a lot of manufacturers, got contact information, have reached out to these guys for the upcoming drops, see what they can and can't do for me, see if I can get better pricing, better MOQ, stuff like that. And then, Magic was just kind of get like an inspiration on like what other companies are doing with their products and what they're doing with their company and their line for every season. At the time, obviously, it wasn't spring yet, but most of them were like prepping and dropping their spring wear. So it was getting to warmer weather stuff. And it's also really cool. Like it's set up weird. They have like, no, I guess not set up weird, but it's just like, I didn't expect a lot of stuff that's there. So like they have like live concerts there. We missed to Busta Rhymes.
Mm-hmm.
He started, so it's like a Monday through Wednesday.
Yeah.
Monday through Wednesday, so 3 days. And Monday night, we ended up getting in late Monday night, so we didn't get to see it. Or maybe it's Sunday through, I don't remember. But one of the nights we came late, so we missed the first day because all 3 days are the same besides like the performances. And Busta Rhymes performs, so there's some concerts. And then every show, like Sourcing, Magic, every different, because they're in different areas. Each one of them had like a DJ set going live and stuff on in there. And then in like certain parts in like the back areas, they had like classes, like entrepreneurs and successful entrepreneurs and business owners, not even just clothing, just in general, that would come up and give like a seminar and a free class that you could sit down and take notes and watch and ask questions. So that was really cool. And then also like the online part of the Magic allows the same thing. It puts every manufacturer they have on there, and then they have like free classes you can go through online as well. So it's just a really huge opportunity for me. And I actually glad that my dad got me in contact with a local clothing, like he owns a boutique store. It's women's, so it's a little bit different than me, but he got me in contact with him. He's known him for a long time. His name's John Brady. You guys aren't going to know him, but he owns UOI Boutique in Sterling, and he's done all this stuff. So he got me in, like, told me I should really go to this. So then we signed up, and then he got me in a couple more contacts that were separate from the show. And then, yeah, me and him just had a good talk about same thing, just like what I can do to get bigger, what I should, like, what companies to use, and then like doing pop-up shops at his shops that he has in Sterling and stuff like that. So a lot of new resources, a lot of new networking, a lot of new things that I've experienced just from like November to December. That was just like that little time frame, learning all that stuff. And then after that, let's see,
That
was in February.
Yeah,
we went in February. I stopped in November and December. My bad. I stopped in November, December, and leading up December and January, I was talking to John Brady about all that stuff. And then in February is when we went to the Magic fashion shows. It was like, it's Valentine's Day. So it was the 13th, 14th, and 15th of February. And then right when we got back from Vegas, we took about a month. And then me and the family, my dad treated us to a trip to Egypt, and it's a bucket list trip. I'm sure that a lot of people haven't been, don't know. So we're gonna dive deep into like what it's like, the misconceptions that they have, some things I took from being over there and being in a different country, like culture and culture shock, and yeah, just like I think there's a lot of misconceptions there. But firstly, I'll just start off like Egypt's a beautiful place. Honestly, like it's fucking crazy going there. It's
not what you think of. It's everybody pictures what they see on TV and the movies they watch, and it's just totally not like that. It's everybody thinks it's just pyramids,
desert,
hieroglyphics, desert, but Cairo is 22 million people, 45 million people with all the tourists, so it's 3 times bigger than our biggest city in the United States. I mean, it's just crazy. It is just phenomenal.
Yeah, so yeah, exactly what he said. Like, it's not like literally when we flew in, this fucking airport's busy as fuck. Like, it's not huge. It's big, but it's not like huge. But it's busiest fucking airport I've ever been in, besides Vegas, and it was probably just as busy, if not busier than Vegas.
Yeah.
And there's just people everywhere. The customs are crazy there. Actually, like it's funny. One of our tour guides, like we had to do like extra baggage scanning, and he just, this is how the whole trip went. So this was a little crazy, but like one of our tour guides, his name was Marcus. He went up and there's like military and stuff there scanning, police and stuff like that. And he's like yelling across to the policemen, and we're in this huge line. Like we'll probably be in this line for like 2 hours just to get our baggage scanned again, just to leave the airport. And he's yelling up at the policeman, and the policeman's like looking, and his boss like sitting right across from him, his boss on his phone. The policeman's like, oh, come on, hurry. So they just stuck us through. We didn't even have to get our bags scanned, which we didn't really even understand why we had to scan it again, because we had a layover in Turkey, which obviously they got scanned. And then when we got there, they get scanned when they first come in, and they got scanned in Chicago before we left Chicago. So the process over there is like, they're like really strict about like obviously bringing stuff in and what goes and comes out. Same thing.
And they scan it when you get your visa.
Yep, scan it
again. Scan it again, and then the last one is leaving the airport. It's a lot of security.
Yeah, checking the passport, they check it like, I don't know, like 10 times in like the matter of like 5 minutes. Like you're literally like 3 feet away, you stop and get your stuff scanned. Like 2 more feet, you get it scanned again. Like they're checking it again. So that was crazy. That was literally the first experience we had. Just crazy. They're like scooting us through security and shit. That was funny. And then yeah, Cairo. So then we go into Cairo. Cairo, literally to me, I haven't been in New York City, but it's like a New York City. It's a little bit obviously like more rundown-ish. But this place is, yeah, like he says, 22 million people. It's way bigger than any U.S. city, 3 times the size of New York. New York has, I think, what is it, like 12, 15, 9?
9, I think. I think it was 9.
And so 9 million is like 9 to 12 million or some shit like that. So it's more than double how many people are in there. And I mean, it's built up like it's just like a normal city. You know, you see everywhere you go, you know, just skyscrapers, apartments, all that shit. It's normal. So
traffic horrible.
Traffic horrible. Worst traffic ever, bro. Yeah, that's the crazy thing over there. That's way different. They like have lanes, but they like don't drive in them. Like, so like you're literally driving on the opposite side of the road. You got cars coming at you, and then you're just like coming back on this side of the road, and then it's like 3 lanes, but there's like 5 cars in 3 lanes right next to you. You're like this close to hitting another car. And when there's like a car in front of you, they just honk the horn to like warn you to get out the way because they're behind you. That's so there's like a shit ton of honking. Like they just like beep their horn real quick to warn everybody.
Mopeds and motorcycles just flying through you everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just insane.
So it's just a way different way of life, but it's also like way different. Like I think like he said, like the movies and shit, like everyone thinks it's like just desert. So like when you're in Cairo, the next morning we drove to Giza to see the Great Pyramids for the first day, and you're 30 minutes before you even hit desert, you know, like you're driving through the city and then the whole interstate, and then you finally hit desert. So
and it's not guns everywhere, the military police. I mean, there's checkpoints where they check you, but pretty much they just check, see who you're with, tour guide, they show an ID. There's nobody walking through the streets with guns and that. The only people that have guns is military and the police. And besides that, it's like everybody thinks, oh, you're gonna get killed over there. All the people have guns now. It's nothing. It's nothing like that. There's nothing.
Yeah, there's a huge misconception too. Yeah, like before we were going, we had everyone around here saying like, excuse me, that we're gonna get like, be careful because you're gonna get fucking killed or robbed or this and that, and girls aren't free over there, so you got to be careful and this and that. And as soon as we get there, we asked Marcus, and he's like, nah, you wear whatever you want when you want. Like, it's free here. He said in certain spots, there's like one spot we went, which was the church, that you had to be covered up. That was the only day the women had to be covered up. So, like, my mom and sister were super worried because everyone was telling us and shit that you couldn't wear like tank tops or even like short sleeves that have like a lower cut or shorts and shit like that. It was not like that at all. And then the misconception of like, oh, it's so dangerous over there and they're going to kill you and this and that and rob you, this and that. No, it's not like that. They literally love Americans over there. Mm-hmm. Like, they literally loved us. Like, and honestly, it's because like it. So like technically, I think this is why it's another misconception. It's a third world country, but it's like not third world. Like the most third world is like some places you have to pay to get toilet paper, but there's like bathrooms everywhere you go. You know, like third world countries don't have like functioning bathrooms everywhere, and there's just like not houses and shit like that. It's not like that. So for this to be a third world country is kind of shocking. The only like worst part was like if you had to buy toilet paper somewhere. But I mean, some of the bathrooms weren't as nice, but there were bathrooms everywhere that were functional. You could use them, and yeah, like people there literally loved Americans, and like obviously it sucks, but it's because they know you have money. But they treat you so well. Like even if you don't tip them, like they're so nice to you. They don't always. English is their secondary language, but a lot of them still didn't speak great English, but they would try, you know, and they would try to talk to you and try to do whatever they could to make us happy. So
it's more, I think it's more considered a third world country just because it's kind of poor because there's such a huge population and they don't require, like the kids aren't required to go to school if they don't want to. The jobs that the pay is over there, like their average pay is like $40-$50 a month. That's their salary. So I mean, it's poor, but it's like it's third world because of that. Because they're not begging. I mean, they're not. There's not a lot of homeless people. They're not a lot of just begging. They just try and sell you stuff. Like they'll sell you magnets. They'll sell you keys. They'll sell you anything they can that's a souvenir. But I mean, they're still trying to work. They're just selling it. They're not begging.
Yeah, so that was another kind of misconception. I think that everyone thinks it's just like poor as fuck homeless people and stuff. Like everyone over there like has a house. Actually, our tour guide, his name was Ahmed.
Awesome.
Yeah, amazing. He's cool as fuck. He added us all on Facebook and social media. We text him, we stay in contact. But he said they actually don't allow people to be homeless over there. Like they'll take you in and shit. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
He said like they not even the fact that they have like homeless like places for people to live, but like if you're just out on the streets in like a neighborhood around there, like they'll just like the Egyptian people will just like take you into their random house and let you live with them. Like homeless, like being homeless over there is not a problem. He said if you're homeless in Egypt, you literally choose to be homeless because they don't allow it. Like that, like so that's also different. The culture over there is like they're like really just loving and caring. Like he said that like the guys around there, you know, they walk around and they like wrap arms or like they like lock hands and shit like that. So that's a lot different. And he said like everyone they call like Habibi's their name, you know, that's their friend, their babe, like that works for girlfriend, boyfriend, friend. They call everyone Habibi, even if they don't know him, you know, they walk up and say Habibi. But like he said, like they don't even allow you to be homeless up there. They literally take random people and random strangers. They don't have to know to let you come stay at their house. So that was weird. Like not weird, but that's crazy because you think about it here. You're not going to take in a homeless person around here, but over there, they'll take anybody in. So that's pretty cool.
And everybody warned us when we went over there, said that they treat women bad. No, they treat women like our Ahmed, our guide. He called all like my wife, and he called her queen. His wife queen. He worshipped his wife. I mean, they don't allow them to do things because it's their religion. Like he's saying, there's certain areas they have to wear. They have to cover up because if they're in certain areas because of their religion or whatever, they can't. There's certain things with funerals they can't be at certain funerals and stuff like that. But it's not. They don't treat them bad. It's just their culture does not allow women to do certain things. But besides that, no, they respect their women totally. I mean, like I said, he called my wife his mom queen all the time. How are you today, queen? How are you? And he was very respectful. Just everybody has that misconception, like, oh no, they don't. They treat women, but no, no, it's not like that.
No, yeah, there's a lot of it's just weird. Like I don't know, like going like I don't know, like it sounds bad, but I don't know if it's like jealousy or what, but everyone here was just like talking so much shit, like it's not gonna be good. And there's just so much misconceptions and like I like kind of get it. Maybe you just go to what you see on the internet or whatever you just think, but like you really wouldn't understand what it's like over there till you visit. Like it's so fucking different, it's so crazy. In everything that's like what's that word?
What misconception?
No, like when a stereotype, like all the stereotypes and stuff over there, none of them are true. Like with women or just like there's like a lot of military around, but it's just to protect. Like they have like checkpoints. It's not like they're like everywhere, but like every like I don't know 10, 20 miles, there's just like a checkpoint or like maybe not even that. It's just like into like places you're going, like
that are sacred to them. Like
everything's protected by the government. So like. Yeah. If you're going to see the pyramids or you're going to like this little, they have like these little separate towns that are very like sacred and like they're like tourist attractions because it's like so old to them. It's they're like sacred to them. It's just like history. Anything that has to do with like the history there, they're protected by military and you have to check in. Like so like if we're getting driven there, we're in the car always has to stop at a military or police checkpoint and they ask like how many people you have. This and that, and then they actually do have to check. They always check the car if there's drugs, but like besides that, there's not like people just running around with guns, killing each other and shit like that. It's not like that at all.
No.
Not at all. So
I mean, I was the same way going over there. I'm thinking we're gonna land in desert. We're gonna see pyramids everywhere. We're gonna see gold everywhere. No, we land in the airport first off, and I'm like, holy, it's just a huge city. And like you say, you don't see the desert till we drove half hour the next day. Then we see the pyramids, and I'm like, well, that's what I'm expecting. But I mean, it's not gold. I mean, they have artifacts in the museums. They have artifacts in certain areas we went to, and you can see the gold. But it's everybody just thinks totally different.
And then like, so the cool thing is like it was a travel agency. They set it up, and then so everything was like set up for us, which I'd recommend if you ever go to Egypt or even another country, especially if they don't speak English. After this trip, I would definitely recommend, no matter where you're traveling else of the country, to just do a travel agency. It's a lot easier. Everything was set up. Our tour guide was with us every day, and if we didn't have him, we literally been fucked. Because this is like a difference, like he said, like being third world and poor over there. So like if you have like $1,000, you're like pretty fucking well off over there, because they like if you make $100 a month over there, you're really well off, because like their normal is like 20 to 50 a month. So like that's a big difference over there too. Is when you go to restaurants or you go somewhere, and we like tip everyone here, and we tip them like 20-30%. It's not like that over there. So like if your dinner's like, it was cheaper to eat over there. Let's say like $45 for a whole meal for like 6 of us. That you literally tip like $1. Like, so that's weird. Like literally, like you tip like 60 cents to like $2 or $3, and like our tour guide would be like, no, like we'd be like, we'll tip $5 or $10. Like, no, that's too much. You tip like 60 cents to $2, because we were paying a lot in Egyptian pounds. So like, what is 100 Egyptian pounds like 60 cents or something like that, or 200 Egyptian pounds is like 60 cents. So he'd like be like, leave 200 Egyptian pound, and it's like 60 cents. We're like, 60 cents? That ain't shit. And he's like, yeah, you guys remember, I keep telling you, it's way different over here. So like, yeah, like we're going everywhere, tipping people and tipping everyone a lot of money, like $10-$20 and shit. And then finally, like, we met our tour guide, and he had to keep warning us and telling us that we're not supposed to tip like that, and the way it is over there and shit like that. So like, if we didn't have a tour guide and he wasn't with us, we'd been fucked. We were already tipping everyone the first night, and fucking way too much instantly. So he just had to keep warning us, like, don't buy from these people, don't tip these people. Here's like authentic stuff you should buy if you're not buying from here. These other like little markets, because every like tourist place you went to had like these. You had to go buy it. At every exit there was like a little market, but he said that's like the less authentic stuff. That's like the cheaper stuff
from China,
like China imported stuff. So he said, like, don't ever spend more than $10 American there, and most of the time you should only spend $5. So yeah, he was just really, it was really cool to have him watch out for us. But yeah, anywhere you travel, I would say use a travel agency, because that, if we didn't use the travel agency and we just went over there, we would have been fucked.
Especially language, because like Braden said, the second language is American, but the French is also the top language, because a lot of the like the restaurants and stuff over there are owned by French, because they have boats that are on the Nile there, and they're all pretty much French owned. So I mean, French is like a second language to them too. So I mean, our tour guide, he spoke a little bit German, a little bit French, American. I mean, we were talking to people, and he would come up and speak Arabic and that, and just helped out tremendously, because we don't know what they're saying, and they could be saying anything. And then he would help us like barter for stuff, and it's just it was wonderful having him as a tour guide.
Yeah,
definitely.
And then I don't know. There's so much to talk about Egypt. I don't want to repeat myself. There's just so much shit. Like, that's pyramids, like the misconceptions. But go ahead.
Pyramids are probably one of the top. I mean, we got to walk inside the Great Pyramid of Giza, just walk all the way almost to the top of it, inside of it, which was just crazy. And then we took cruises down the Nile for, I think it was 4 nights. We cruised down the Nile on a boat, and then seeing hieroglyphics everywhere. I mean, hieroglyphics has always been something I've been interested in, and our tour guide taught me how to read some of them, so it just made it 100 times better, because now I can read a little bit. I mean, I can't read every single thing, but he taught me different ways to read them and what different things meant. And I don't know, they're like great. So there's just so much stuff.
Yeah.
And they're the biggest thing about the pyramids, which this is gonna start a conspiracy theory on the podcast here with everybody, is we made a mention like, no, aliens built those things. No, they do not want to hear that in Egypt.
Yeah.
They do not. They get pretty upset when you say the aliens built them. They said 100,000 farmers built them during the off season. They weren't slaves. They were hired by the pharaohs. They were paid. They built them. They have evidence of it, but we would still joke around every once in a while, like, no, aliens built that shit.
Yeah.
That was kind of an inside joke between us and the tour guide, but they're very specific on, no, this is how it was done. This is, and like, you'll see hieroglyphics, it looks like it's a flying saucer, and they have an explanation for everything. I'm not saying it's right. I still might be on the alien side of it. I don't know. I mean, it's just hard to believe when we're standing next to a pyramid and on the side of Giza, and one stone is from this wall to this wall,
dude, bigger than that.
this
Yeah,
big
no.
high, 1 stone.
It's
And
like
there's
the
thousands
size
of
of the back of a semi.
Yeah.
Like literally 1 stone.
How do they get that up there, and how do they travel down the Nile to get there? Because the granite that they got it from was like 50 miles away, so they had to travel that down the Nile one by one. I don't know. It was very interesting.
So like with that, like that was cool. Like, so before I get into like the aliens conspiracy, because I can agree still, even after being there. The cool thing with like our tour guide too is he was like a doctorate in like Egyptian archaeology. So he learned from the biggest his teacher, his professor was the archaeologist that does all the National Geographic and History Channel TV shows.
We call him Dr. V. If you guys ever seen him on TV, he wears the brown hat, the blue shirt. He's the most famous Egyptian archaeologist over there, and that's who he got his master's from.
Yeah, so that's who our tour guide learned from. We fucking just missed him too. Our tour guide said he was there like a week before we got there. Dr. V was at the pyramids and all like the places that he had extracted like all the fucking history there, like any pyramid or any piece of evidence of like past that we missed him there, and he's at all the sites that he had excavated from and found stuff at. So we just missed him, but that's the cool ass part about the tour guide is, yeah, he has master's, doctor, whatever in Egyptian archaeology. He learned from him, and every place we went, he just gave you the history lesson of every fucking thing. He knew everything, you know. He gave you the history lesson on the pyramids. Then the next day where we go the next day? Luxor. We're in Luxor, and he
went to the King Tut's tomb and all the Ramses' tomb, and just
you went So we got to go to the pyramids, and he's giving us the history on the pyramids and how they built them and how they got this and that, and then we get to Luxor Temple, and he's telling you everything about the temple and how they're built, and then you get to see Ramses' tomb, and then you get to go to the Valley of the Kings, which is really cool. That one's different, and a lot of people don't know. Probably is like, if you don't watch that, like all the temples, right? The temples, all the like coffins and temples of all like the kings from Egypt are in the king of the or Valley of the Kings. That's where everyone is basically. Ramses was there, King Tut's there.
I think 2 of Ramses
the second there. There's like a bunch of Ramses. There's like 30 Ramses kings, but there's what, like you said, like 30. I think there's like 30 of the King's Temple like coffins here in just the Valley of the Kings, and then you got to see the main Ramses the second, his own temple, and that was in like somewhere like Aswan, somewhere around like Aswan, the Nubian, somewhere around there. You took like a little 20-minute boat ride, and then you went there, and there's a separate temple. This one was huge. I'll try to put up pictures in my videos of some of this shit on this video, like side by side, because we have like so many pictures, but it has like 4 different versions of Ramses for his temple built up there. And then this was the only temple. So like Ramses had like 170, right? Children or wives?
He had, I think it was 100 wives and
70 children. Yeah, so he had like 100 wives and 70 children, right? And at the Ramses temple, he built a temple for only one of his wives, and so it's very special to them because he, like, back then they could have so many wives and shit, but this is the only wife and queen he built one for. So it's right next to his temple. There's his, and then hers is right next to it. So that's really cool. We got to see those. And then
we had to take a little boat trip to a Nubian village, which our tour guide is Nubian, so it was really important to him to show us that, and it was just
beautiful. Like the colors and stuff. Like
beautiful.
Like they use like actual like natural color, you know, like from like plants and shit like that, and it's just like colored really cool. It's just like a small little village separate off of the Nile. It's called the Village of the Crocodiles, and they keep like crocodiles as pets, so that's crazy. So we got to get pictures with the crocodiles, and what's different about that is like it's part of like you can do it as like a optional part of the tour, but it's like it's these people's actual house. Yeah. Like, you're literally walking into these houses. It's not like a museum or a tour. Like, it's these people's actual home, and they're, like, doing their normal everyday living life while you're in their living room, you know? Like, you're in their living room, and you got the mom in the kitchen cooking lunch and stuff for, like, the whole family, you know?
It's how they make extra money, because they have their job. I think they were farmers or something like that, and they sold, like, different things in markets, but that's how they made extra money. You have people come into their home and see how Nubian Village is, and it was just
And they
like,
just welcome you right in.
yes, and they're so respectful and so nice, and just bring you hibiscus tea as soon as you get there, and ask you if you want something to eat, and ask you to just take you around room to room. And it's just like, I can't imagine being in here and being like having people come to my house every day and be like having to take them to my house. I mean, it's just totally different culture.
Yeah, so it's cool too because the houses there are like built different. They like have open roofs. Like it's not like shitty, you know what I mean? Like these are nice like stone houses, but they just have like open roofs and stuff because it never rains there.
Yeah.
So like over half their house is just like opened up to the sun, just shining straight in, and then they have like parts that are covered, but like half of it is opened up, so they let like natural light in and stuff like that. And then
Their floors are sand,
yep,
and they're sand, so then at night if they see like they have to sweep to see if there's like a scorpion or snakes or anything in there. But we never saw. That's the other misconception. There was no snakes in
crocodiles except there and as pets.
Yeah, there's no scorpions. We didn't see anything.
No wildlife. We didn't see no snakes,
A
no
couple lizards,
scorpions,
that's about
no crocodiles, all this shit about like dangerous animals over there. We didn't see nothing. We saw 2 little lizards at the temple of Ramses Temple. That was it.
There are camels everywhere though. Camels everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Camels and donkeys.
Yep. That wasn't surprised about the camels and stuff, but yeah, it's cool. I mean, amazing. Like if there's some funny jokes that they make over there, like so they have like some American restaurants, but it's like different. So like McDonald's, they just call it Mac. But they also change a lot of them. He said that they're turning into like just a cafe. It's a cafe. So that's like the main thing over there. They can't drink because of their religion. So everywhere has like everywhere you go, they have like cafes. Like every like fucking other storefront is a
like
cafe.
we have bars here.
Yeah, so like a bar, yeah, that's their cafe because it's against their religion to drink. So everywhere you go, these cafes are open till like 4 or 5 a.m. every night. You know, they open at 6 in the morning, stay open until 3 or 4 a.m. Like they only take like 2 days off. And then, so there's these cafes everywhere. But Mac over there at McDonald's is like turning everything into cafes. So like the first front half of a lot of the McDonald's there is like a whole cafe that has like different pastries and cakes and pies and shit. He didn't get to go to the Mac cafe. We went to the other Mac. But the first night I went out, one of the nights I went out with just a tour guide, I got McDonald's because I was tired of the boat food. And it was called McCafe. And the whole front half was, just the coffee, pastries, and crazy looking cakes and shit. And then you keep walking through, and that's the back where you would order your normal McDonald's. But they also have like a condensed menu. They have like 6 things. They have a Big Mac, and they have like a quarter pounder that was called what? What was it called? The Big Man or something. And then they have a McChicken, but it's like a normal chicken sandwich, not like our small little McChickens here. It's like a big ass chicken sandwich. And then they have chicken strips, and then like 2 other things, and then fries. Like their menu's really condensed. And then they have KFC, and there's a funny joke there because they call it Kentucky Fried Camel, and we didn't know that they ate camel there, but they actually eat camel there, and that's why it's a joke that like it's not actually chicken at KFC there; it's a camel. That was pretty funny. Our tour guide would make jokes about that. And then Pizza Hut, they had Pizza Hut there. Pizza Hut was pretty normal.
But for the most part, but like they said, like you're saying, the pizza they don't use their pepperoni.
Yeah, they can't eat pork.
So it's
except in Pizza Hut, it is.
The Pizza Hut was, but that was the only place.
Yeah, so we went to a couple pizza places and they can't eat pork. So like we wanted pepperoni, and it says they have pepperoni, and we ordered pepperoni as like corned beef.
Yeah, it was weird.
It is different.
Really weird.
So
they use like goat cheese.
Yep, their mozzarella is like Islamic mozzarella, he called it, because it's their religion. They have to make everything there like fit their religion. So stuff's like a lot different when it comes to even like most of the American places that they bring in.
And we were there during Ramadan.
Oh, Ramadan started,
so that was
the second week we're there.
We got to see that with all the Egyptians doing Ramadan, which is pretty interesting. I mean, they are very devout into their religion, very devout. I mean, they do their prayer. They have to fast during Ramadan from sunrise to sundown. They fast
like 5 a.m.
No water,
7 p.m.
No water, no anything, no food, no nothing.
Yeah, so like our tour guide would like when it started would like be with us, and it sucked because we'd be eating lunch and he can't even fucking eat or drink, and he's there with us. He still has to take us to eat and stuff. So that always sucked watching him. He'd like sit away from us, but he'd have to wait.
And they have to do their prayer 3 to 4 times a day. So we'd be in the middle, like we were going through the airport one time, and he's rushing us through, and we're like, "What?" And he's like, "Prayer's getting ready to start." And we're like, "Okay." And we're the last people through. Prayer starts. Everybody just leaves. They go and leave. There's nobody there. It's just everybody leaves. They stop working for like half hour, go do their prayer and everything, and you're just standing there. You just gotta wait for them to get done. Which, like I said, they're very devout, very, very. So it's like, but it was interesting to learn their religion.
Yeah, it's definitely culture shock, but it's like really cool. Like it's like some of the takeaways. Before we get into like the conspiracy, even though we've already taken a long talk. Like to me, like even like everyone does talk shit, and like there's a lot of misconceptions. Like I took away that like it is like a blessing we live in America. Like Egypt was amazing, it's beautiful, but like life is just so different over there, and it really sucks. Like, cause you like let's put it this way: a lot of people that are going to travel there, we talked about this, are probably going to stay at like a resort or some shit, right? And we were on a cruise for 5 nights or whatever, and then we stayed at normal hotels and stuff the other nights that we were like sporadic everywhere, you know. So we weren't at like we were on like a nice hotel. It was like a little resort, but it wasn't like a resort where they shut you off to the culture, you know. So we got to see every little aspect of like what real Egypt's like and what like a touristy part of Egypt's like. That you get to see everything. So like there's some parts where it's really sad where you get to see like the little like kids, like you said, they don't have to go to school if they don't want. So you see like this is like the only like true, I think, that isn't like a misconception. Like some of the true stuff there is like there's like kids over there like walking around, you know, with like a barrel on their head of like water or bread, and they're like 7 years old and they're just trying to sell it and make money for their family. So we got to see some of that kind of stuff, and it's really sad. That kind of stuff's really sad, but
That's
yeah,
how they make their living. Like the parents, instead of them going to school, they can go to school, and they go to school in like a government school where you do that.
or they have a carpentry school.
Yeah, or they have carpentry, or they have the
Where
the
you make
weaving.
literally carpet. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
weaving.
that's what I meant.
Right. The weaving.
Yeah, they make like carpet out of camel hair and stuff like that. You can go to like a carpet school to learn how to weave.
But otherwise, they teach their kids to sell stuff. They buy, I don't know how they get it from China, where they get it. They order in bulk or whatever, and they go out and teach them to sell. Because they're like kids. More than likely, people are going to buy from kids than they will from adults.
Yeah, so that was like some sad stuff we got to see. But in general, besides that, like
Awesome trip.
awesome. Yeah, like I said, like I do have like
Worst part about the trip was the flight. 15-hour
was
flight.
horrible.
Horrible.
That and some of the food. Food was tough for us.
Yeah.
Food was really tough for us.
Because they have lots of pastries. They have lots of
They
great,
eat a lot of bread
great freaking produce and vegetables. Just so fresh. Just
and fruit. Yeah,
fruit, vegetables. But then
and their bread is really good, but like their meat just not good for us. So
no.
different.
the
Chicken was all right, and if you got like a fish fillet that was fried, that was fucking fire. But they cooked fish some other ways.
It's just because the seasonings, like the turmeric, cumin, and curry, is just that's
Yeah.
about all they use, and it's just overwhelming because we're not used to it.
Yeah, so like it does take like I feel like even though we were there for 2 weeks, like it takes longer than that to honestly get used to like the way they cook their meat and how the way they season this.
And I'm a beer drinker, and they don't drink over there, so they have 3 types of beer. They have 2 Egyptian beers,
And then
one that's called Stella and one that's called the Sakura, and then they have Heineken, and that's it. And it's everything's warm. All beer's
water,
warm,
pop.
everything is warm.
And then everyone told us not to drink the water over there, and he told us only drink bottled water. But then everyone also said that was another misconception. Don't use the ice or nothing. And we asked, he's like, "Nah, you could use ice. It don't matter. Like you'll be good.
Yeah.
You use the
But
ice."
it's hard to get ice. Like they don't have ice at a lot.
Yeah,
of
a
places.
lot of places don't have ice. They just give you warm drinks.
Yeah, that was bad.
So that was like some stuff, but yeah, like still my take on it is like it like some of the stuff is very unfortunate over there. We do have it nice in America. It is way different. Like they said, the culture shock is way different, but I'm not trying to shit on it. Like I'm grateful, and like life over here is just a lot different and better in my opinion. But like over there, like it's still amazing. It's just so different. Yeah, like it's not like it's just different. Like I'm not saying like if I was born there and grew up there, you know,
yeah.
I'm not saying it would be bad or like it would be because it'd be just normal. You know, you're living like this, you're doing this, you're taught the ways you're taught. But like from being American and then going over there, like it for me, like it would suck unless I was born there. I feel like, but the trip overall and the stuff that you got to do and see is amazing, and it's not like so shitty and bad like they're saying. Like I said, the worst part is just, in my opinion, is just seeing these little kids have to work.
Yeah.
Like that was like the biggest thing I took away is like I'm just glad that as a kid I didn't have to be doing that shit, like really like not learning and not going to school or not doing this. And I had to just literally work really, really fucking hard and just to make like a penny, like they don't make a lot of money. So
Like, and like to go along with that, it just seem coming back from it's like us in the United States are just so spoiled. They can't get anything like Nike. They can't get iPhones. They can't get anything special. And if they do get it, like we have iPhone 13s, whatever 14s, they have like iPhone 5s.
yeah,
And they think that's the best thing ever. Like when we left, Braden gave our guy a brand new pair of boots because they can't get him over there. I gave him my basic brand new Oakleys, and like he was gonna cry
because he loves Oakley.
Yeah, he loves Oakley, and all he did was talk about America, and he wish he could get stuff. I gave it to him, and he was like, "What is this for?" And I'm like, "I appreciate it. I mean, you said you can't get this stuff. I want you to have it." And I mean, and we still talk to him, and he sends me pictures with his Oakley, and he just said, "Oh my god, I can't believe you gave me these." And they just can't get stuff. Like we can go to the store right now and get whatever we want. They can't do it over there. It's all Chinese. It's all fake.
Yeah, so like he said they have like an actual Nike there, but like the retail price is like so like if I bought something in America for like $40, like it's like $400 over there.
Yeah.
Like literally American. Like if you're like evenly American. So if I paid 40 American here, I'm paying 400 American for like an authentic Nike shirt over there. And he said like you can't really import. So like we asked him like we could ship you stuff and stuff like that. He's like, you can't. Like you literally can't ship to Egypt. He's like, even if you can make it possible, you're literally paying like $5,000 to fucking ship like a T-shirt to him.
And then he said he still wouldn't get it because
the post office there.
They would see what the package is, and they go through packages, and if somebody's working there and they see that, they're gonna take it. They're gonna be like, oh my god, it's an iPhone, I'm taking this, and they'll just tell you that it was lost in the mail. They just can't. It's just can't get anything.
Yeah. So he said that sucked. He said also like he said like if you do get stuff over there and like you can sell. Like he said he has friends from like Canada and stuff that visit him and bring him stuff. He said like a lot of people that have friends in different countries that can get like American made stuff or like big name brand stuff. Like he told us like if we ever come back and we bring stuff, yeah, like bring like 3 or 4 generations older than what is the newest thing right now. So like he said, the iPhone 14's out, we'd be bringing them like an iPhone 9, and that's fucking brand new. Like they haven't seen it before. Yeah. Like that literally like probably the newest one they have is like a 7. He has a 12 or 13, but like I said, he has friends that bring him stuff. So I think that's the I think the like he said though, going on to like the third world part of it again and being hard, he said that they like dissolved their middle class. Yeah. So like they only have a lower class and then the rich. So that's what makes like it like third world and so hard to get money over there. So that's really crazy. And then like something else was weird. We got told like not to use that much American. We brought like a shitload of Egyptian money and like you can use it everywhere, but they literally prefer the American dollar right now. I know like who knows how long that's gonna happen because every fucking other country right now is like trying to get rid of the American dollar. That's unfortunate. But Egypt loves the American dollar, so everything over there they want you to pay American. Yeah. And a weird thing though is they won't any ripped bill they won't take.
Ripped or
like even like crumpled like a little bit. Like they only take like crispy bills over there because like places won't accept them or their bank won't take them in and stuff like that because like it's the American dollar over there is hard to get. So like we gave him a ripped bill and he said you have another bill and then he had a couple ripped hundreds and we exchanged him hundreds for that and stuff like that because he couldn't trade it in or he couldn't find anybody else that could take it. So
and they weren't counterfeit because everybody's going to come back with this and see it's like they were confident. They weren't counterfeit.
No.
They just don't take them.
Yes.
They're weird.
Yeah. They had to be like crispy bills. But into the conspiracy part of it, yeah, like we made a lot of jokes, but they do take that like disrespectful, honestly. But like I get it and I appreciate everything Achman told us and I like the history. I respect the history. But even still, how the fuck are those made? Like, it still doesn't make sense. Like, you're there, and it's surreal that you're there. Like, even, like, you're standing right next to this fucking pyramid. This thing is huge, bro. You're literally touching it, and you still don't even feel like it's real, to be honest. Like, seriously, it's still, like, I'm inside of it, and I'm touching shit. It still don't even feel like I'm at the pyramids or like, this shit's real. Like, it still seems fake. And then, like, you're learning the history, and he said, like, it took, like, over 100,000 people to move, like, one brick. And I'm like, bro, like you see these things and it's seriously like, there ain't no way not Americans, humans built this shit, bro. Unless they had giants back then, seriously. like the alien conspiracy is real. Like I still don't know what it was, but
And the one thing that just that like I go with that conspiracy is how, I understand if it was just in Egypt, but how do we have pyramids all
everywhere
over
in
the
the world
world at about the
at the same time.
There was no phones. There was no way to contact people at the same time, and all built, and they all align with the stars. They all align with Orion. It's like I don't know. That's the thing that gets me. How?
And like,
And he had, I mean, he explained it. He said how they did it. I'm just like, I understand. That's how you were taught. That's how you guys believe over here. But I'm still telling you, it's aliens.
yeah, like it still doesn't make sense. You should see, like, seriously, like pictures don't do these things as fucking justice. These things are fucking ginormous. Every piece of like structure over there that is like history is fucking huge. Like even like he said, like this the Sphinx that's there, the Great Sphinx, right? That thing was made out of one piece of granite. They said,
Yeah.
or limestone,
Limestone.
One piece of limestone, right? In this piece of limestone, it, for real, has to be like the size of a yacht. Maybe
It's probably the length of a football field, so 100 yards,
maybe
120 yards.
bigger.
And
Maybe
then
like 2 football fields.
It's probably about the size of 1 to 2 football fields.
Yeah. So you put that on, and it's just one big brick at that point, right? They haven't carved it out. And supposedly, where the Sphinx is located, it's been located forever, right? But they took the big ass brick and somehow floated it down the Nile, and then got it there for like 100 miles. They float this bitch down the Nile and got it in the spot it's at in Luxor or wherever we were at. I think it's Luxor. I don't remember.
I think it's right outside Luxor. Yeah.
So wherever it's located now, they took one giant ass piece of granite or limestone and boated it down the Nile and got it where it is, and then they chipped it from the top down.
Yeah.
And like, they say today, like why it doesn't make sense is because they literally openly admit that there's not technology today that could even build the shit that they have built there. Yeah. So like that's why it doesn't make sense to us, even with like him telling us how they did it. And like I said, well, I'll show some pictures where like they use these, he called them mud breaks, you know, they use mud bricks and mud breaks. They use mud to build bricks, and then they stacked them up to like the height of what this piece of limestone or granite was, and that's how they chipped away. And also, like, starting from the top to the bottom is like the hardest way to do architecture. So like they're chipping this fucking Sphinx from the top to bottom and building it up, like, what would you say, 20 stories? I don't know how tall it
The
was.
Sphinx?
Yeah,
Probably about that.
probably about 20 stories, maybe, probably taller, who knows. They would build a fucking mud fucking ladder, basically, but it's not a ladder. It's literally like huge. Like, it literally looks kind of like a pyramid, but like a smaller version. The bricks are like literal actual sizes of bricks, but they're mud, and they would build it up like stairs, and they would start, and that's how they would chip it down. So that's just crazy. That stuff, like it still, even after him explaining it, still really doesn't make sense, because the way technology was back then, that they didn't have, like, they're literally using pulleys. Even like the boats, how do they have the boats that are fucking moving that stuff down? And what he said is they would like chip holes in the bottom of these granite, and the water would like fill it up and make it float, and then they would like get the boat underneath it, right? Yeah. So that's how they're saying they floated it down. So like even how they moved this stuff, to me, doesn't make sense. Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to shit on their history. Like we said, we learned it all. But like, it for real doesn't make sense. I'm sure a lot of you guys believe that it's aliens. I don't know what you guys believe, but even after going there, like I really, I don't know, bro. Like,
it's just hard,
especially after you see it in person. It's for real. Like, there's no fucking way humans built this shit, especially at that time. Like,
no disrespect to Ahmed, because in case he watches this,
yeah, no disrespect.
We're not trying to go against what he was teaching us, but it's hard for us to believe as Americans over here when we weren't growing up over there and taught how they were taught. It'd be kind of like them coming over here and studying Christianity or studying how freaking Empire State was built, and they'd be like, "No way, that's not how it was built." It'd be the same thing.
Yeah, but for real, like, it takes 100,000 people, and then what also didn't make sense is like a lot of these things would be building these temples for the kings, right? Mm-hmm. And then the king would die, and then these people would continue to build the temple for like 30 years. So like, we don't understand why, like, if a new king came in power, why the people would continue to build the old temple for this other king and stuff like that. Why like a new ruler wouldn't come in and just be like, nah, start building me shit.
Yeah. Yep.
So like,
and he said they just because they respected the king so much. I'm like, it'd be like us in the prisons when the president is out of office, everybody changes everything. changes all the cabinet. They change everything. They redo everything that he built. That's how we do over here. I don't understand how the Egyptians they just respected their kings, I guess.
And there's also like some of the stuff though that he said was built in like 5 to 7 years, like huge monuments and temples. He's like, oh no, that wasn't built after he died. They built that in like 5 years while the king was in power. It's like, once again, even if it was 100,000 people and they worked every day of the year, how the fuck did they build that? Seriously, it don't make sense. And what's crazy about that is, what are those the fucking straight?
Obelisk.
They got a pig
Obelisk.
That's what it is, obelisk.
Mm-hmm.
So they have like all the obelisks, they have like buildings that are like that, like straight, and then they're pointed at the top. There's a conspiracy that I showed him over there, and it says that pyramids aren't actually pyramid; it's just the top of an obelisk. So like, I'm sure you guys have seen all over the internet. So like, it has like the sand, and then it has the pyramid, and then underneath the sand, it's like hollow. There's like nothing, like it's just black. Obviously, there's sand around it, but it's just showing an image. And then it's just a tall obelisk. And they're saying that the pyramids are just the top of an obelisk. And we talked about it after I saw that, because I saw it while I was in Egypt. I hadn't seen that before. One of my friends, Josh, sent it to me. And I said something to him. And we asked Ahmed all the time, like, how the fuck do you know that that's not true? Like, the pyramids, there's not more under it. Or how do you know there's not more shit around here? Because you guys are not excavating. That was a weird thing about being there. It's like, as much as they found, they literally have. It's like the ocean. Like they literally
5%'s been excavated.
Yeah, so they literally haven't fucking excavated shit. So there could be so much more that they don't even know that they found. And we saw a lot. Like there's a lot that has been found and stuff like that. But there's so much more desert and land that can be excavated. They were only excavating one area while we were there, and then another area they were cleaning because they said they tried to restore a lot of stuff, but it ruins it with like the new tools we have. And like the new coloring and stuff we had, it ruins it. So like we got to see like where they tried to excavate and like fix stuff. It literally destroyed these old ass like the cylinder temples, parts of the temple, like the columns of these temples that had like artwork on them. Like power tools literally destroys it. So now they literally just scrub. They had like 50 people there on like excavate like the fucking stands all the way to the scaffolding, and they were literally just cleaning these things with like toothbrushes basically. And he said we don't really try to restore stuff unless it's really fallen down now. He said, but we don't like use power tools to fix it either or like remake it anymore. So we just try to clean them and keep them up to like the best condition we can, because like the new tools and technology today literally just ruins stuff.
He said they just don't do a lot of excavating because it's too hard to get permits and they can't get permits.
Yeah, so that was crazy too.
The government just won't give permits.
He said that the reason they haven't excavated is because like everything government owned, obviously, and it takes a lot of money, and they don't have a lot of money. One, and two, he said it's hard as fuck to get permits for them to get any kind of permit to excavate there. And he also said that like not a majority, but like at least like I know it's more than 50%, I think, or maybe 50% that like the U.S. has helped them find. Yeah. So like a lot of the stuff and a lot of the history there and fossils and everything else that they've recovered, he said that the U.S. has came over and helped them recover this stuff because the U.S. has money, and
because it used to be the British and now it's the U.S. helps them.
And he said that the U.S. has money, one, and he said two, that technically even though it's in Egypt, everything theirs isn't theirs, it's the world's. He said that, so like even other countries besides the U.S. come in and try to help them find stuff because it's literally history of the world. So it's not really their property. So like every other countries like to come in and help them discover this shit because it's literally history.
And then they put them in museums.
Yeah,
we went to one of the museums, which was awesome.
Yeah, we got to see the big world,
the Egyptian museum.
Yeah, the huge Egyptian museum. We got to see all the King Tut's fucking headdress, and that's unfortunate. They wouldn't let you take pictures of it, which fucking sucked. That's like the one thing I want to take picture of the most, besides like the pyramids and stuff. That thing was awesome. He had a really sick ass little knife he had, just made of straight gold. Everything in that museum, I know this is, now we're switching. Everything in that museum was literally made from gold. Everything, every king's items in the museums, especially King Tut's, every fucking piece of everything they had was made of gold. Sandals, fucking rings, knife, headdress, tomb. It didn't matter what it
Chairs.
was. Chairs. It literally didn't matter what it was. Everything was made of pure gold. It was fucking insane. It was so cool.
You want to show some of the stuff that you
Yeah.
brought back to me?
So I'll show. Hopefully I can zoom in on the camera, but I brought some stuff back from Turkey and Egypt. So I'll show the Turkey stuff because that was just like a layover. So it's just like cool to bring some snacks back. So I brought back a bunch of like turkey chocolates, like 6 different kinds. And then we brought back a Turkish alcohol. Technically it's like their vodka, but it's just called Rakishi. Right? Rakishi? Rakasi. They don't really have it like a rum vodka. They don't really consider any of those. They're just their own like alcohol. And one of the cool things, like I said, is Ahmed would take us and he would tell us not to spend all our money at the beginning and stuff because he's going to take us to their like biggest market in Cairo, which we got to go to. But he also would, like, after every stop when we had downtime before we'd go back to the hotel, like in these certain areas, each place had like authentic like just like Egyptian shit. So like authentic Egyptian stores. So like they had their authentic full 100% Egyptian cotton like clothing store. That was the first store we went to. And then we had the rock store we went to that has like all their authentic like gems and stones and stuff that they hand carve, and we got to see like a whole tutorial on how they do it and how long it takes and like the artists of them doing that. So that's like the real stuff, cause and you can really tell like the real and the fake. They show you how it's real, how it's fake, how you can break it, how you rip it, all this shit for like the real and the fake stuff. So we went to the authentic clothing store for Egyptian cotton. Then we went to the rock store. I don't think the rock store was second, but we went to the rock and gem store. And then we went to 100% pure essential oil store because he's America and their essential oils, they dilute it with like water and alcohol. They don't do it at all. Like they don't dilute it at all. It's pure essential oils at this store, and they have like 70 to 100 different types of oil. It's fucking awesome. So I brought 3 that I'll show you right there. I brought 6 back. Oh yeah, papyrus was the second one. So they show you get a presentation on how they make papyrus paper, like their paper out of papyrus. So that was really cool, and it's like a 6-step process. They like rip the stem off. It's a green stem. They rip it, and there's like this white. The inside of it's like white, and then they cut the green off, and then it's white, and then they take the white, and they had to roll it out with like a fucking pastry roller, and they rolled out to get all the water and sugar out. Or no. Then they put it in water for like it could be up to like 2 weeks. Yeah. The longer you put it in water, is the darker the color gets. So then when you put it, you take it out of the water, you roll it out to get the water out. So before you do all this shit, it like rips easily. Like it literally just breaks. So then you put it in the water and you keep it in there as long as you want until you get the color you like. The longer you keep it in, the more color it gets, like the darker brown it gets. And once you take it out of the water, you roll it out and you get all the water and the sugar out because that's what makes it like flimsy. And then all of a sudden, dude, it literally turns into this like it doesn't break. Like it doesn't rip, or it's not flimsy. It's crazy. And then they put it together and they turn it into like these scrolls, this paper. So I'll show you those real quick if I can get them out. I couldn't get them out the last time.
Can we get them while you're talking?
Yeah, if you can.
Oh,
ooh, that's one of them. And then here's I'll go closer for these. Can you get this one out? I gotta frame these, but I haven't bought frames that fit them yet. So these are cool. They have homemade artists. So in this store, they have the homemade artists that make them. And then this is like a papyrus paper, and then they have the artist that does the real true coloring on here. And this is my zodiac sign, Aquarius, right here. This is the Aquarius, and then these are the hieroglyphics of my name.
And it'll glow in the dark.
And this one doesn't.
That one does it.
And then this one is just like a cool Egyptian art, like Imtah, Pharaoh, Sphinx, pyramids. And this one is really cool because like it has like this glitter color on it. Hard to see, maybe. You can't really see it, but there's glitter on the outer edge of this image. And when you shut off the light, it glows in the dark, and it's a completely different image than what appears on this. Like it's another like I don't remember what this one is, but once you turn off the lights, it turns into like another pyramid or a cat or something. So it's really dope. So that was like the papyrus store. Let's see what. Oh, I'll show you I guess I'll go store by store. I guess I can do that. So these are like dress shoes that they had at their clothing store. And then I got these sandals at their clothing store. And then I got some of the stuff buried. So this jacket from the cotton store. And then I got another shirt from there. Which is really nice. Let's see. I got 2 headdress too. I got this one from the cotton store. This brown one was from the cotton store. This one's super dope. And these are the ones like they wrap around their head. So like when we went to the ATV riding, I wrapped one around my head in the picture. So if you guys see the pictures. And then let's see. So this was at the airport because there's something my dad said about Pez there.
Yeah.
So I got these Pez. What was
The Pez, there's a movie on I think it's Netflix, talks about Pez, where the Pez first came from
Egypt.
Overseas, not Egypt, it's
Oh.
overseas. But they said you get them from overseas. Some certain ones you get overseas you can't get here. So the Pez are pretty big over there.
Yeah, so I bought some Pez, and then here are I'll show you guys the pieces of stuff I got from the actual rock store. I lost a couple of them. I have more. I just, I got a lot of stuff in here. So, here it is. Here's the last thing I got from the rock store. So I got these all from like the authentic rock store. I'll come up and show one. So I got these pyramids, 2 full pyramids. I got all the hieroglyphics on them. Each side's got different designs. And then this one I got because it has the spiral on it, like the AVO spiral. Because remember, guys, the spiral comes from the ancient spiral, which is not just an Egypt thing. It's just like an ancient artifact in general. And Egypt uses it a lot. And it means like the same thing, which is really cool. All right, I'm getting the camera. Which is really cool that the spiral's like a thing over there that the spiral's like a thing over there that means like the reality of life, which is basically still the same meaning as what the spiral means for the brand, which is like the never-ending journey of life. So it's cool that the symbol's like the same meaning. So that's why I got this one. So you guys probably can't hear me, but then I got Horus, because Horus is like my favorite symbol. He's the hawk. It's cool. This one opens up, little stash thing. Then for free, they would give you like the scarab.
Mm-hmm.
They gave us a lot of
for
scarabs.
good luck.
Because the scarab means good luck. So I got the scarab. And then maybe I'll just zoom in on the rest of this stuff on the camera. It'd probably be easier. So I got this little like stash box thing. It's really cool. I think what I'll do is I'll just like take a smaller video and just put it like a side by side on here. But it's got like a pharaoh, and then on the back's got like the pyramids and shit on it. It's super dope. It opens up. You can stash whatever in there. And then I brought back like each amount of money I could, a 200, a 100, a 20. I didn't get a 50 and a 10, 2 10s and a 5. This 10's really cool. It's got like a see-through, like right here's like a see-through little window, so it's super dope. I'll try to throw up some pictures of that. Then I got an ashtray, a cool ashtray. It's got a pharaoh in it. Then just everything on the outside. Then the rest of the stuff's really like candy and stuff. I got a little shot glass. But the cool thing is I brought back a lot of candy and drinks because the drinks and shit over there. So look, this is their Gatorade, right? I'm probably getting really loud. This is their Gatorade. Their Gatorade over there. So the thing about their food too and like the spices they use, I brought back 6 Gatorades, 2 red, 2 blue, 2 yellow. The thing about their Gatorade and just their drinks and spice over there is like nothing has sugar really and nothing has salt or sodium. So their fucking Gatorade is so fucking amazing. I don't really like Gatorade anymore because it's so salty. Like it's way too much sodium. Yeah, there's way too much sodium. There's like no sodium in their Gatorade, and their Gatorade is fucking amazing. Like, so I would have brought back more, but this is like the one thing in Egypt that's really expensive because they said it's imported. So I bought 6 Gatorades. It cost me $40. I could buy 6 waters and it would cost me $1, like less than $1. You know, like 6 waters is like $1, $2. Bought 6 Gatorades, it cost me $40. So Gatorades and shit over there are expensive. Same thing. Their pop over there, for whatever reason, is so much better than here. So I brought back a Mountain Dew. I didn't try Mountain Dew over there. We had everywhere had Coke and Sprite, so we got that everywhere. But at the like little markets, their cafes at like all the tourist places and all the attractions had like little cafes. Like I said, there's cafes everywhere.
At concession stands.
At concession stands, yeah. But it's literally a cafe and it's got like a little hut and then it's got like a big seating area and shit like that. So I got Mountain Dew there. So I haven't tried a Mountain Dew yet. So I don't know what the Mountain Dew is like, but their Coke and Sprite's good. And then I got this Monster over there.
Probably one of the best Monsters I've ever had.
Best Monster I've ever had. It's called the Doctor. And it's only available in like European countries and then Egypt gets it. So I brought one of these home. I tried one there. It's fucking awesome. I'll try to show you guys pictures of it. And then, like I said, I got yellow, red, and blue Gatorade. And then I brought home one of their energy drinks. I don't know if these are around here. I've never seen them. But I, for some reason, feel like when I was a kid, maybe these were a thing.
I don't remember seeing them.
But it's called Sting. It's a Pepsi product, but it's an energy drink. It even says 18 plus on it. So it's just crazy. So it's different over there. But it's in a glass bottle. It's called Sting. It's an energy drink. I didn't try it over there, but I brought it home. And then I brought home Skittles because supposedly like all the candy in different places, it's like different. So I brought home a bag of Skittles I didn't try. I brought home 2 different things of Egyptian chocolate. Here's like a pyramid with a bunch of different chocolates. This is like, actually these aren't chocolate. These are called Strawberry Fruit Delights. It's an Egyptian candy. Then I brought home like Egyptian gummies. It's a gummy mix of all different kinds of gummies, like worms and shit like that. Just sour and sweet worms, bears, everything. And then here's like a Turkish like fruit delight thing that has like a bunch of different candies. Another headdress that I got. And then I brought, this is actually, I somehow took it from my sister, but maybe I'll give it back to her. Another thing like different Turkish kinds. And then I brought home from school, I got this cologne bottle because like I said, I got 6 essential oils. 2 of them you drink. I got black seed oil. So it's how like there's a list of benefits it helps with, and I don't know what I did with. Oh, it's right here.
The black seeds are digestion.
Yeah, so I've been having like a lot of stomach issues. That's also like why I've been taking time off, like health. But this one's for like black seed oils. Like they had like 8 of them you could drink. So I got black seed oil, and it's for like antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, antifungal. There's just like a huge list, like heals ulcers, Parkinson's, protects brain injuries, used for increasing immunity, shit like that, cure and kill cancer cells, lowering cholesterol. Does a lot of stuff. Parasitic infection helps, bacterial infection, digestive system problems, blah blah blah. It's got a ton. Then I got a cumin oil one to drink. It helped to lose weight, preventing eating much, burns fat, treatment of urinary inflammation, long continued constipation, tweet swelling, and healing wounds. Then I also got one that was where's it at? Bergamot, and it's I have eczema on my hands, and it supposedly gets rid of eczema. So I've used it twice, and every time I've used it, it seemed to help really well. And then I brought home lavender for like my anxiety and stuff. So I'll just put this like in baths of the essential, you know, like a diffuser. And then I brought home frankincense, which is also like anxiety, like gives you like joy, you know, like there's like a, you know, feeling of joy and stuff like that. Then I brought home like one of their essential oils that's like a cologne. They had like a list of them that were like their special blends there, right here, their essence blends. And they're all named after like, a lot of them are named after like, so they got Horus, Aram, Anubis, Key of Life, Ramses II, Aladdin, Isis, Amun, Ra. So they're basically named after like kings and queens and shit like that. And then I got Osiris. So it's like a homemade cologne basically. So that's why I bought the cologne bottle. and I gotta clean it out because I think they had a different cologne in it before. It smells like they're. This is really weird, but every Egyptian like male over there wore the same scent, and that's what this bottle smells like. I don't think it was supposed to have stuff in it, but maybe they did because these were like empty bottles that you could just buy. But I think they had it in there, and I asked for this color because they had it in different colors, but I like this design. I said, "Do you have this one in black?" So I think they had it, but they had stuff in it because you could buy either empty ones or stuff with stuff in it. And I think this one was like empty, but it had something in it. So I think it has their normal scent in it. So I gotta wash it out, and then I'm gonna put my like Osiris cologne in it. But yeah, there's so much cool ass shit that we were able to get. Like I said, a lot of it was authentic. You'll never go back. And one of the coolest things too, I really want to get a close up of this one. So I'm gonna come up to the camera. But so like they have these things called a cartouche. It's like an Egyptian tradition, but normally they're necklaces, and they're like an oval shaped thing, kind of like a rounded oval.
Like the one you showed on this.
Yeah. So that the thing that said my name on this, that's their cartouche. Like every king has one of those, like on their neck or like it's on their tomb. So that's how you know what king and who's buried where, because it's on all their everything that is like. All their sculptures have it like on their arm or on their chest, or their tomb has it on them to know that this is who this is. So and it's written in hieroglyphics, and that one has my name, and this one has I got AVO on it and got 2 spirals on it, so it's really dope. Usually their necklace, I got a bracelet, so I'll come show like the hieroglyphics for that. And so the A's a falcon, the V's a snake, and then the O's like is that papyrus flower or a hibiscus flower maybe.
I think so.
So it's a flower. And then I got 2 spirals on each side, one on each side. That's really dope.
And the one thing too about all the snacks over there, they're like all different flavors what we have here. Like potato chips, I had KFC potato chips, I had prime rib,
and they taste just like prime rib. They were weird.
Doritos, I had like a chili lime one that we can't get here, and they're all different because
their Doritos are way better.
They don't use all the preservatives we do, so just their chips were just totally different flavors that you can't find anywhere.
Their Doritos were 1,000 times better than our Doritos. They're like a little bit smaller triangles, crunchier, and just the flavors were better. Mm-hmm. We brought home a couple bags. I think we ate them before we even got home, to be honest.
We did.
I also got these dope ass glasses. You know, I got some new fucking hippie glasses. You guys know me in the glasses collection. We got hella shit. I feel like we've been talking a long time.
It's like 7:15.
But can we keep talking just a little bit about business?
Yeah.
So I'll cut this into 2-part episode, honestly, because this is a long episode. Did you get them both back in here?
Yeah, just didn't put the end.
So that's like all the shit I got. Hopefully I can put up pictures with it. And if I don't get pictures, as many pictures in the videos as I wanted, look at the Instagram and I'll start uploading. Once I put this episode out, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I don't know when this episode is going out. We just wanted to record it because I finally, like it's not as early as I even wanted to record it. I wanted to record it earlier, so Egypt was fresh on my mind, but it's not really something I'm ever gonna forget. So we recorded it as soon as we could.
And you got your hookah too.
Oh shit. Yeah, the biggest thing I got, I fucking forgot. I brought a hookah home because this thing's badass. It's got I don't remember who this is. Nefertiti fucking head on it. It's black and gold on the bottom. And I brought home a hookah because I went over there. I've smoked hookah one time here when I was in Houston at a hookah bar. But the hookah over there is fire. And because they can't drink, everywhere you fucking go, they just bring you a hookah. So like if you're Egyptian, as soon as you sit down, they're automatically bringing you one. Like you don't even have to ask.
Like the cafes he was talking about earlier, the little one, instead of alcohol, They smoke hookah all day, and they sit there and play like checkers and chess or cards, and they just smoke hookah all day and coffee. Coffee and hookah. And their coffee is like
so strong.
Quadruple espresso. Just
Yeah, so they smoke hookah everywhere. So I went out the first night, I said, or a couple nights in, after we got on the boat, Ahmed took me out because I wanted to leave the boat and go out on town at night. And so we went out to a cafe and I smoked hookah there. He got me a drink and I was smoking hookah. And then we went down to a market and they came out that night. We went out in Aswan and that one was super dope. Aswan was cooler than Luxor actually. Luxor was really cool because right in the middle of Luxor, the temple's right in the middle of the town. So like you're literally, your boat is ported and then there's like a street where they drive, and then literally right in the middle of that is the temple, and then on the other side is like their downtown. So like when you look out the boat and look out, like anywhere you look, you're looking straight in the middle of the middle of the town. It's like a park, like Central Park, basically, I would say, but it's a temple, and it's just so it's cool as fuck. That's how Luxor was. So I went out in Luxor and I got to sit on a 3rd-story balcony and look over. I'll put up pictures, like I said, and smoke hookah and have a couple of their fruit smoothies there, which are amazing. And then we went out in Aswan, which is another different city, and Aswan's beautiful, super dope town. They had a cool market there. Everyone was smoking hookah there, so now I'm addicted to hookah. Had to bring one home. I completely forgot I even had that.
Yep.
But yeah, so I got hookah, and yeah, it's amazing. Everything there is cool as shit. There's something else I was gonna say before. You said something about the hookah. I forgot.
You were talking about doing a 2-part episode, and
Besides that too, I don't know. Whatever. But also, I brought home 2 cool books, and here's all our tickets, bro. There's like literally like probably 30 plus tickets. Like we went to so many different places, and I kept all my tickets from everywhere we went. It's like all the tickets from every adventure we went to. Like I said, the Citadel, Abu Simbel Temple, Temple Karnak. Where's this one from? Khufu. Okay, yep. And then I don't even know. Memphis. That was a city, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we went to Memphis. Is that where the Sphinx was? Nah, different Sphinx.
I don't remember. We went to so many. I don't remember.
Saqqara monuments. Like there's everything. The pyramids right here. The catacombs. I remember going there. Those are super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Valley of the Kings right here. Yeah, there's just so many. But yeah, that's all the stuff I brought. Sorry if you guys couldn't hear me when I got closer. I'll try to throw up pictures. Oh, that's what I was saying. If I don't get pictures on the video, just follow authentic.vibes only on Instagram. I've been posting pictures of me and the family and like some of the monuments we went to. Got a lot more pictures to post. I'll probably put like a short, like either go live on TikTok, which is also authentic.vibes only, or I'll go live on Instagram and show this stuff again, because that's what I've planned on doing, but I hadn't done it. But also, like I said, I don't know when this episode's coming out. We just want to record it. I haven't had. I've been revamping the logo, and I've just been taking my time. And we'll get into now kind of the business aspect of stuff like that. There's one. I fucking forgot one thing. I was just gonna say about Egypt. One last thing. I don't remember, but anyways, Egypt was an amazing trip. Fucking bucket list thing. I know we talked a lot about it. There's a lot more to talk. Oh, the last thing, a cool thing about it. So we went to 2 different temples, right? And one of the temples had like this 1.5 mile long thing of fucking sphinx, and there were just sphinx on sphinx. At each side, there's just sphinx lined up across the whole thing, and then in the middle there's like this big gold fucking monument thing. And then we went to another temple that used to be surrounded by water and stuff, but now like the Nile used to be like in a lot of these temples and flood and shit, but they put a dam up that controls it. Which there's one temple we went to where it used to be would have looked so dope if there was water, because the water was like there's like part of it, and then you went over like a little bridge, and then that's where the water was, and then there's a temple. So like it had to used to look so fucking cool, like dead ass. Like it would have looked like one of those retractor doors in like old Roman times or whatever would come down and it'd go over water with like crocodiles, and then you'd go into like a castle. Like that's yeah, it'd kind of be like what it's like. So there'd be like a little like canal, basically, not even just like 50 feet from like side to side, and then it'd be like a 10-foot width of water, and then like a little bridge literally walks over it, and then you walk onto this temple. But that temple there, in the first temple, was connected by, they said, 100 miles, 50 miles of those sphinx. Remember, he said they were connected at one point.
Oh, yeah.
So the sphinx that were like 1.5 miles long used to connect to the other temple that they no longer connect anymore because it got destroyed over time by 50 or 100, I can't remember, miles straight of just fucking sphinx, the whole walkway. And this walkway was like a giant sidewalk that was literally, they said, either 50 or 100 miles, and there's just sphinx across from each other on each side, like every 2 feet. There's a sphinx, and they're on both sides.
They're like the huge sphinx.
Nah, they're like
Probably like 5 feet tall.
Yeah, they're probably about 5 feet tall, like the size of like a lion. Like
Yeah.
they're like normal. They're not huge. They're smaller, but it's just crazy that this fucking walkway. And he said they would literally walk it like every day, like walk from one end to the other end. They're all identical. Every Sphinx is not different, identical. And he said they would walk it to bring shit from temple to temple. And like, he said when like kings would die, it was one king's like two separate. They were separated, but they were kind of one because of that walkway. But it's the same king's like thing. So this is like the place he went, and then the temple was where they would take him when he died. So like when he died, they said they would walk these kings from the beginning spot and walk them to 50 or 100 miles down this pathway all the way to his temple that was connected by this fucking walkway of Sphinx. So that was fucking super crazy, super dope. It sucks that it wasn't connected anymore, but it's crazy to think that at one point it was connected
because it was long miles.
Yeah, even like looking at it for the mile and a half, whatever, it's like it never ended. You're looking straight down it, and we walked like not even a quarter mile, and this shit just like, damn, we walked far. It seemed like that. And then you keep looking, and it's like gone into the horizon. You can still see it like ending like this. But let's get into, like I said, we'll make this a 2-part episode. We'll talk about
a free falling like I'm skydiving, teacher and student, 2 worlds colliding. I love music, I don't abuse it. Take your crafts and you infuse them. Say you're normal, that's kinda weird. In deep thought, stroking my beard. Head of the table, saying my cheers. Ended up grateful for all the tears. Ready to grind for years. Been loving what's in the mirror.